Yes, Candace started via Prager. He ended up recording a letter. He wrote to her about his concerns about the way she was going. Hey, AP, do you know when that was? When was that? Is that before he was paralyzed or after?
I just said that, man. It was September.
I was looking at stuff, so I didn't catch it, and so I'm asking you.
It was September 3rd, 2024.
Oh. Yep, so that was shortly before.
When was he paralyzed?
November. It was an injury, some sort of fall spinal cord injury. Isn't that crazy? Because I mean, he's oldish, but he was still, healthy and going around speaking and stuff like that.
Wait a minute. So, September 2024, Dennis Prager wrote an open letter to Candace Owens. 2 months later,
can we say that this was a plot by Candace Owens? Is that where you're going?
Very likely it is. I mean, what else could it possibly be?
Yeah. We just want to point out, guys, if this had happened in reverse, Candace Owens had posted a letter against someone, and then 2 months later she was paralyzed, you know what she'd be saying.
Yeah.
Hey, how certain can we be that if Candace Owens had sent a public letter to Bibi Netanyahu and then 2 months later had an accident and was paralyzed, how sure can we be that she would have said this was an attack by Mossad?
99.5%.
I would say 1,000% because that's what she said. That's what she said. And I don't mean in the weird joking sense. I mean, that's what she actually said. If something happens to her, 1,000% it's Israel. That's what she said. Interesting stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this video. Oh, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm talking to you, AP. Why would I be asking Ash Mays what he's doing tomorrow?
Maybe you want to find out what he's doing tomorrow.
Hey, Ash, what are you doing tomorrow, man? Want to go hang out?
Why are you asking me what I'm doing tomorrow now? You can ask me that later, man.
I'm asking you because IP messaged me as if you guys are going live tomorrow, and I'm making sure that's what's actually going on before I agree.
Oh, yeah. I think that's happening, yeah. I think
so you're going on his channel tomorrow, or is that on your channel?
His channel.
Okay. All right, so looks like tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Inspiring Philosophy's channel, going through Nick Fuentes's interview on the PBD podcast. That's interesting. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll be reacting off the cuff. What are you laughing at? Have you seen it?
No, it's just so funny because people don't know, but I actually took Mike Winger's photo when I took a selfie with him and put it as the profile picture of David Wood. Whenever he messages me, it's just Mike Winger sending me a text.
I don't know why people think this is funny. It's like when people say someone is really evil and then they like make the person look like Hitler or something. It's not stuff to joke around about, guys. Basically, I have my faults. I've done my share of wrong, but I've tried to be a force for good, and you're basically calling me you think it's funny to call me the most evil person on the planet.
The thing is, sometimes I forget that I did that, and then I get a message like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? What are you doing? And then it's just a big face, a big smile of Mike Winger.
Well, that's pretty funny. I'm going to change your picture on my phone for when you call me, and I'm going to make it Candace Owens. And then every time you message me, I'll be like, hey, what's up, Candy? Hey, Crazy Candy. See how you like that. Crazy Candy, Crazy Candy, Crazy Candy. All right.
Nice.
All right. So she just, we just started. We're only a few seconds into it, like 20, 30 seconds into it. But she asked Dennis Prager, hey, I'm sure you wish you could be there, but you couldn't, talking about speaking with everyone else up on stage. And she said, so what would you have said? What would you have said if you could have been there? That's what we were checking out before you rudely interrupted because you came in late. And so here's his response. Ready?
Paul.
Here we go.
Well, I think you're right. I think I would have been invited. Erika knew of our friendship and how much I had touched Charlie's life, as I mentioned earlier. He claimed to have listened to more of my talks and courses than than probably anyone else, and he might be right.
And I did point out, you've seen the message, AP, right, where he said he reads Jordan Peterson, he watches Ben Shapiro, and he listens to Dennis Prager.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm emphasizing that for a reason. Charlie didn't just like he wasn't just born doing what he did. He had a lot of natural ability and stuff, but for years he was listening to Dennis Prager. He was listening to Dennis Prager for years. So I'm sure that had a big influence on his talking points and so on. So my point there is probably some good stuff to listen to. And I've always been impressed every time I've listened to anything by Dennis Prager.
And
I have to say, now I want to listen to more to Dennis Prager.
dedicated his last book to me, and I was very moved by that. I did record something for them, but it was without video, and I'm not even sure she ever got to hear it. And in it, I commented on something I mentioned to you at the beginning, when my friend from high school, Rabbi Joseph Telushkin, told me, and he's officiated at, I'm sure, at least 100 funerals. What he does is he speaks to the friends and the widow or widower and the children. And he was particularly moved when he would meet the children of the person who died. And they would each tell him that they believed that they were the most loved of the children. And that's what Charlie's friends think.
He said, so the rabbi said that he officiated hundreds of funerals, and he was always I think this is what he just said, he was most moved when he would speak to children of the person who died and find out that each of the children thought that he was the one that they loved, that the guy who died loved most. And he said that's what Charlie made the people around him feel like they're all the special one. And yet they all felt like that, which means he's either a really good guy or world champion manipulator. But sounds like he was the real good guy.
We were all the closest friend that he had.
We're all the closest
And you heard at the memorial that that's what people felt. That's what Charlie was able to achieve, which is a very great accomplishment. Anyway, and I would have spoken about his courage, but not just courage, his knowledge. I mean, I would watch him respond to all these students who threw everything they had at him. And his responses were so excellent and so knowledge-based. I couldn't get over how much he knew and how much he retained. Anyway, it was all very remarkable.
Well, I'm sitting here finding it remarkable. He's like, Dennis is saying he's so impressed with Charlie on the college campuses. And yet, before Charlie was famous for being on the college campuses, Charlie said he was busy learning from Dennis Prager, Ben Shapiro, and Jordan Peterson. That's my point is, guys, that's kind of setting up a pattern. It's good to find people who are knowledgeable and wise and absorb a ton of material for them, and then to go out and engage. Sonny here said, Fuentes making fun of funeral. Did he make fun of the funeral?
He made fun of Erika Kirk and made also fun of the memorial service. And he started with this whole thing like, what kind of widow goes up there and is like, a few days after her husband is dead, goes up there and is like smiling and has tons of makeup on her face. It's like, I forgive him. He did that whole thing. It's like, this guy's just disgusting, man.
Yeah,
Oh God.
you've seen the people attacking her. You've even seen like the insane stuff attacking her. And I've seen a lot of people. She seems fake. She seems like she's acting. Guys, I've seen lots of people say that. That's some of the stuff that if you think it, you don't say it unless you are just 100% sure, right? If you start, it looks kind of fake. All right, you keep that crap to yourself unless you're 100% sure, and even then, probably a good idea to shut up. Because I can guarantee you're not 100% sure. You don't know how people react unless you've seen them a bunch of times, and then you can predict exactly how they react to things, and therefore they're being fake in the way they react, and so on. Yeah, we've been yeah. It's basically years of people. Here's what I had for breakfast, and posting that crap on Facebook. They've concluded that every thought that pops through their head needs to be shared with the world, and it doesn't, guys. It doesn't. I don't share the vast majority of what pops into my head because it would destroy the world if I blurted out everything that popped into my head. What are you saying, AP?
Yeah, I like to keep most of the stuff that I feel to myself. I know it's a very popular thing to do, to just put it all out there. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's likable for a lot of people, but it's just incredible. There is one aspect of social media which is a lot of people are out there, thousands, millions maybe, are out there sitting at home, having their phones in their hands, and constantly just making judgments about others and how they do things. It's so bad that they even they have become armchair experts on everything. It's like you see a plane fly, and like, oh, why is it not flying this way? Why is it not flying that way? I could have made it differently. Wait, why is this rocket taking off so slowly?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, did the police look into this? Why do scientists do it this like this and not like that? Like, you don't even have a job, man. Like, stop judging people.
I
Like,
realized that
that's
after with Charlie, like everyone suddenly became an expert sniper.
Yeah.
Like everyone was suddenly an expert on rifles.
This like instantly, this would take a world-class, one of the greatest snipers in the world. And everyone who had a background with guns is like, what are you talking about with a 30-06 with a scope?
That's the funny thing.
That's an amateur. That's an amateur shot.
It was the ideal range for that rifle, and it was moderate to easy to actually get that shot from that
It was like the
distance.
zero range for the rifle, like what you
Yes, it was
zero
the
at.
ideal range. So it was actually incredibly easy for a trained shooter to take that shot, for example. But you had people immediately come out like, well, no way, this was some random guy. This must have been a professional. Candace Owens said that too. And she's not some random person. She is somebody who has millions of people watching her.
And then they all go out and blurt out the same thing. And, oh, well, Candace is an expert. And therefore, I know what I'm talking about right now.
So you have that aspect, and then you also now have the other aspect, which is, aside from simply sitting there and trying to make judgments about everything, it's also now judging people's emotions and judging people's reactions. That is also a thing. Wait a minute, why is she smiling? Why is she? If my loved one died, I would be crying. I would be on the floor. Nobody would pick me up. I would be dying. I would be.
Why isn't her mascara running? If she's really crying, why isn't her mascara running down her face?
The thing is, you actually tune in, you actually watch the episode of her going on Turning Point on the Charlie Kirk podcast live and sitting and talking to people. That is also what got a lot of backlash from people. They're like, oh no, what is this? She's laughing, she's smiling, why is she not even upset? If you actually tune in, if you actually turn it on and watch it, you can see that she's very, very noticeably upset, very noticeably, significantly different from how she used to be. Very somber, very, very, very sad. Still laughs, because that's what people do when they have a conversation, right? Still laughs, still smiles, but is very frequently goes down this very defeated look and defeated mood and all that. People react differently to loss. People react differently to tragedies. I know that I'm quite weak with tragedies and things like that. If something like that happened to me, I would be devastated, and I don't think I would be able to have the strength that she has, which is why I think that she's incredibly strong, and I have a lot of respect for that. She's very, very strong, and she's the right person to lead right now, despite the fact that she also was very noticeably broken as soon as it happened, and probably still is broken. Not probably, definitely is broken, and will be broken for a very, very long time. I mean, even if you're not a very emotional, even if you're not a very attached person, the person that you shared your life with just got brutally shot and killed on camera in front of the world in footage that is incredibly traumatizing. People who have seen it, lots of people who have seen it, can't get over it. It was that traumatizing. And people really think that it didn't affect her. Of course it affected her. Of course it impacted her. People just show their feelings and their losses and their grief differently. People grieve differently. People grieve differently. She might come out and gather her strength and be a mother and be a leader and be there to have conversation, but she might also after that go home and cry herself to bed. That's just how it works. People don't have to be like you. People don't have to be like Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes doesn't even have any life experience. What is he even judging here? The other thing is also, she's a faithful Christian. Charlie Kirk was a faithful Christian. They have always upheld and amplified Christian values. And most importantly, they have also uplifted and valued the Christian ideas and the Christian beliefs that death is not the end, that death is just, that death is the beginning of something better, especially in Charlie's case. When Charlie is brutally killed, brutally murdered for what he's doing now, it is very clearly held by lots of people, including by me and by many others, that he is a martyr, that he gave his life for something beautiful, and that he will be uplifted and taken to a much better place. So for a faithful person, especially for a faithful wife who loves her husband, losing him that way might, if you think about it from a Christian perspective, actually also not only bring tragedy and sadness, but also an amount of joy to her life, because she might think he is a hero, he is a martyr, he achieved the best thing that he could ever achieve, and I want to make myself happy with that, despite the loss and the tragedy and the sadness that I feel. I mean, Nick Fuentes is supposed to be a Christian. He's supposed to be a Catholic. Doesn't he even think about this for a second?
Yeah. When Nabeel died, so Nabeel, there was Nabeel's funeral, and it was interesting that you had Nabeel's Muslim family, so his mom, his dad, and sister, and his wife and her family. And anyone who saw it noticed the completely different reactions. The Michelle's family, so that was his wife. For anyone who isn't familiar, Michelle was Nabeel's wife, and her mom and dad were there, and they're basically shaking people's hands and hugging people and stuff. But Nabeel's Muslim family, they were like sobbing. I mean, just yelling and sobbing. They were, I mean, very, very, very upset. I mean, just imagine you're watching that. Oh, they actually cared. This Christian family. Well, the Christian family believes he's with Jesus right now, and so don't underestimate that effect. But yeah, with Erika, there's lots of things going on right now. So she's got to had multiple things going on. One, she just lost her husband. He was super young. They had all sorts of plans and so on about what they're going to do, and then he's dead. She also has to keep a straight face going on for her daughter, who's asking where her dad is, and she's just telling him, "Oh, he's on a trip with Jesus," and so she can't be around sobbing all day and stuff like that too much. She got to go do that stuff in private. But she's also the new CEO of Turning Point, and she's going to be the one who's leading it and probably trying to let everyone know, "Hey, I'm strong, and I'm going to." I'm not just going to be a ball of emotion in charge of this thing. So lots of things going on. So yeah, I'll just say again, if you're looking at that going, well, something's off there. That's not how I would react. So I'm going to say she's fake. Well, if a thought goes through your mind, again, you need to be 100% sure, because even if you're 99% sure, if you accuse her of being fake, or even worse, we've seen that there's a plot and she was involved. There's some sick stuff going on online. If you say she's fake or something like that, and there's even a chance that you've done something horribly evil, you've done something evil. If you have a thought in your head, guess what? You haven't done anything evil yet. You haven't done anything evil. If you think, that's not how I would react. That looks a little suspicious to me. You haven't done anything evil yet. You just have a suspicion. Keep that crap to yourself, because if you say it and you're wrong, you've done something really bad. And there's already plenty of people to do something horribly bad out there. Trust me. Trust me. All right. This got about another minute of this video.
Pretty amazing to see almost the entire cabinet, the vice president, the president, all gathered in one place, right?
What is most remarkable?
1 second. Can't say I didn't warn them. Can't say I didn't warn them. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd it go, Matt? There we go. Okay. Prophet, death. There we go. All right. So, someone just said, she's fake. Okay. I literally just said, keep your pie hole shut. It's a simple request. Keep your pie hole shut. Keep your stupid thoughts to yourself. Couldn't honor that, therefore got banned. All right. Let me back that up a little bit.
Back to the...
Almost the entire cabinet, the vice president, the president, all gathered in one place, right?
What is most remarkable is even I, and I'm not sure Charlie knew how big his impact was. There's a saying among the timber workers in Oregon, you never know the height of a tree until it falls.
That's awesome.
That's
Everyone catch that? That is a good saying. This is...
Wow.
I try to figure it out why some people seem so wise, but every time I see Dennis Prager, he's like this. It's, there's this saying here. I learned this. He apparently just absorbs important points that he encounters throughout his life. And then when it's relevant, he's got something that he learned years earlier, a saying he learned this or that, and he knows when to apply it. And here he's pointing out he didn't even think Charlie understood what an impact he was having. Like if you said, "Hey Charlie, what if you were shot, what do you think's going to happen?" It's like, "Oh yeah, a bunch of people are going to be upset, but yeah, the movement would keep going." He may not have understood how big that would be, and so Dennis Prager just summed that up with, "You don't know how tall a tree is until it falls." Let me see.
Until it falls. That's the case with...
Hang on. See, I know you guys by now. I know you guys. Some of you dopes are thinking, what? You can measure the tree. That's not the point. If you're standing on the ground looking up at the tree, you don't really realize how big that is until it falls. And then you see it and they're like, whoa. Anyway, that's the point. It's the same thing. Quit jumping to conclusions and then blurting stuff out. Sorry about that. Let me go back.
Until it falls. That's the case with Charlie.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your wisdom. I'll share with you that I have received hundreds and hundreds of text messages.
Pause. Hey, J415 Espinoza. Charlie wouldn't approve of you banning people, and you're banned. This isn't Charlie's channel. And how do you know what he would approve of? You're going against freedom of speech. Yeah, now you're banned.
Is Dr. David Wood having arguments with John 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah. Anyway, let me break it down for you. Free speech is government not stopping you from saying stuff. It doesn't mean if you're saying stupid, idiotic stuff over in the chat that I don't want to listen to and I don't want people on this channel exposed to, that I just let you blurt out your stupid nonsense. So better luck next time. Find another channel to watch.
The case with Charlie.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your wisdom. I'll share with you that I have received hundreds and hundreds of text messages saying that you should have been on that stage and you would have been if you could have.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got to sit with you here today. Being with you today was really a great honor. And I know that many, many people wanted to hear from you. So it's a
Well, I'm
a
glad.
great pleasure to be here.
Being with you is an honor and a joy. You have really enabled PragerU to have the impact it has had.
Wow. David can't really tell how it feels because he's a psychopath, but that was very touching, man.
That was?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just checked what Charlie Kirk tweeted about Dennis Prager. The last thing that he actually posted about Dennis Prager on his Twitter profile on March 19th was so his last words about Dennis Prager were, "America is a better place when Dennis Prager is behind the mic." It's,
That's a pretty huge compliment to say. That's a pretty huge compliment, man.
So much respect. So much respect, man.
What is it?
Me too.
I'm trying to figure out if people are being mean or joking, because if they're joking, I'll let them slide. If they're being jerks during some of this stuff, I'll just block them. Because this is not a time, guys. This is not a time. What were you just saying, AP? Oh, yeah, you were talking about his last post about Dennis Prager. It's like, seriously, it's like I realized when I was like, hey, let's go through some of what Dennis Prager says. Like, every time I've ever listened to Dennis Prager, it's been like, wow, this guy is like just a massive source of wisdom. It's like, okay, well, why am I not listening to this guy a bunch? In other words, like, we listen to a lot of toxic stuff that we respond to. Should be listening to some good stuff. Should be listening to some good, wholesome, edifying stuff here and there. You know what I mean?
Did you ever see Dennis Prager's fireside chats?
I think you mean FDR. He had the fireside chats.
No. So Dennis Prager would do this thing where he would just sit down with a cigar at his fireplace and, like, unscripted, no plan, he would just go for like 2 hours just giving people advice and talking about life. Here. Yeah, but his voice is really cool.
He does have a cool voice. Yeah, man, the dude. Yeah. I can guarantee everyone I'm going to be listening to some Dennis Prager talks here in the very near future.
I think he got hit with that classic thing that some people like. Unfortunately, it happens. The man presents like wisdom for people for years and years and years and starts a huge movement and coaches and educates people like Charlie Kirk. But then he had some maybe morally questionable things to say about a specific topic.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, to some people, he's like despicable. And let's forget about every good thing he's ever done.
Yep.
And let's forget about the fact that he basically led the conservative movement in the United States on a moral level also for years and years and years. This one thing that we think that he messed up on, we should judge him only by that and that alone.
And I've already seen it. What you're just talking about, I've already seen it in the chat. It was, he said the adult film industry was a net good or something like that. And it's like, well, why? So you disagree with him? I would disagree with him. But like,
he didn't even say that though.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's when people, I mean, we've seen it with Charlie, right? We've seen it with Charlie. Here's what he said. And you go to it and it's not what he said. But assuming it's what he said, why wouldn't you just think, oh, he's right and awesome and an awesome speaker about all these things, and he's wrong about that. And therefore, we need to correct him on that instead of, well, that's when I realized that he's the devil himself. Wild stuff. Yep. And that is all a product of basically something we've talked about a bunch, and I've pointed out a million times about what goes on in society when everyone feels like they're being attacked all the time, that they click up into groups and then they define their groups by being opposed to other groups. And then every group is like, to be the most important member of the group, you have to be further away from the other group. And then so it becomes more polarized. And this is part of, someone was just commenting, I didn't pull it up, but someone was commenting like, hey, there've always been conspiracy theories, but now it seems like it's like everyone's just becoming more obsessed with every conspiracy theory. Guys, once people polarize more and more, and you regard the group that you're opposed to as more and more evil the further away from you they get, almost anything becomes believable about them because that's how evil they are. They're so evil. Like if they're close to you, if they're close, you have disagreements, but they're kind of close to you on a lot of issues. Then if someone says, this person is doing this because of a sex cult where they're sacrificing kids and blah, 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 you think, what? You sound like an idiot. When you regard them as like supremely evil, because that's how far you've polarized, you believe anything. They're over there, they're drinking the blood of little babies, and you'd be like, oh my goodness, that's completely believable because they're so evil. And so, yep, it's all connected, guys, all connected.